Whether you're working on architectural plans or technical drawings, knowing how to use hatch in AutoCAD is essential. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to hatch areas properly and give you access to a free pack of ready to use hatches and blocks to speed up your workflow. So let's start with a basic example. I've got a closed boundary right here. This could be a wall section like here, a floor area, or anything that needs a material representation. To fill this area in, we need to go to the hatch command, which you can find with one of these buttons at the top here. I believe it's this one. Or alternatively, you can just type in H and then spacebar. And since this is much quicker, and I work on different computers with different button configurations, this is a lot more consistent. So you'll find that I always type in my commands rather than search at the top here. Now, once we're in the hatch command, we need to select our hatch pattern. You can stick with something simple, or you can pick from any of the predefined ones that you have available to you. If you've downloaded my free blocks and hatches pack, you'll also have access to all these pre-labeled patterns. To apply these hatches, what you have to do is select your area, and then I'll press space or the tick at the top here to confirm my hatch. And then if I'm going to apply one of these, I can simply do MA and spacebar. This is the match properties tool. I'll select the hatch that I'd like to apply, and then when I hover over this one, the properties gets pasted over. If you're going to be using the hatches from my download, then that is all you need to know. Just create the hatch and then copy the properties. But you may come to find that you need to edit a hatch down the line in your CAD career. To go about doing this, you need to left and then right click the hatch and then select Hatch Edit. Here we can adjust the scale. The bigger the number, the bigger the scale is going to be. We can change the angle here, so if I change it to 45, it should start running straight now. And then another useful change you can make is the transparency. You can do this by either using this scale, or you can input your precise value into the input field here. The size of the hatch can also be changed at this point in time by using the grips that appear after clicking the hatch. If you find, like this one, that the grips don't show, they would typically be on the edges, not in the center here. There you go, so once I moved it out, now I get the grips. That is because this is currently an associative hatch, which you can see at the top here. And this means that whenever you move the boundaries, the empty space will be filled. You can make a hatch associative by simply toggling this button at the top here. But as you'll see, once I've made the hatch, I can't set it to associative after the fact. So it needs to be done upon the creation of the hatch, like so. And now it moves with the shape that it's in. But as I was mentioning before, it needs to be non-associative if you want to extend it outside of the bounds of your box. So when it comes to creating a hatch, there are two methods available to you at the top here in the boundaries section. The first is the pick point, which is probably what you're used to using. This will fill the area of wherever you put your cursor and is usually the easiest and quickest to use in most scenarios. The other method of selection is the select a closed loop tool. This won't work when applying to a rectangle drawn out of lines, because as you will see, the outside four lines are just separate lines. They're not a closed loop. In order to get these to be a closed loop before using this selection method, we can highlight all of these lines, and as long as they are connecting, we can use J and spacebar to join them together. And now you'll see that when I highlight one of them, all four are selected. So once you have it joined up like so, you can use the select command and then just click on it, and you'll see now instead of one line it's all of them, and then just like that it will be applied inside. I find that this method of application is the best to use when filling in the walls on a house floor plan. So here's a house plan that I prepared earlier, and is actually the plan that you can learn to create in my upcoming course detailing the whole step-by-step process to create house plans and elevations, and then we can create drawings out of it too. If I wanted to quickly apply the wall hatch to the walls that I have, using the select method, I can perform this task with efficiency. Right now, all of the walls are separate lines, so we need to isolate the wall layer. The way I go about doing this is by clicking on the line and then pressing the isolate button within the layers area. You'll see that the rest of the other layers get locked and faded out. Now that I'm just selecting the wall layer, I can highlight the entirety of the drawing and then do J and spacebar, and now you'll see that all of the walls are closed loops. So now that they're all closed loops, I'm going to come back out and unisolate all my layers, and using the hatch command with the select tool, I can simply just click on all of my walls and press space to confirm. And just like that, I've applied my hatch to all the walls nice and quickly. Lastly, if you've made it to the end of the video, I'll leave you with a quick tip I found to be very helpful after learning about it. And that is that you can actually create more corners to your hatch if it's not in associative mode. So with the grips, like I showed you before, we can just move the overall size of it and create different shapes without having to draw in the borders. But alternatively, if we wanted more vertices on the side here, we can hover over the middle grips or the corner grips and select add vertex, or to do it quickly, you can hover over it and just press A, and then you can move another vertex and create a different shape. The same method can actually also be applied to create an arc. If you go to the center and press C or convert to arc, you'll see that a arc is then created out of that line rather than a straight line. I don't recommend adding in all the vertices yourself, as this can be very time consuming, although sometimes it can be necessary if you're working on a complicated drawing, as the hatch command can be inconsistent at the best of times. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, and since I've tied my entire self-worth to that number, you'll make me happy. And if you want to save time and instantly improve your drawings, grab my free blocks and hatches, download at the top of the description.